14 days into my happiness habit challenge, and I got to tell you that I'm most definitely a happier individual. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, I have set myself a target of 66 days of making sure I'm being very conscious about my happiness in every moment possible. So making sure I'm being grateful for things and being excited about things, because I go through this, this process in my life of like ticking off all these boxes to make sure my well-being is right in all these different areas, exercise, relationships, fitness, like absolutely everything, nutrition. I can't say my nutrition's been 100%. That's why I'm going to see a naturopath. So I reckon I can squeeze more out of the day energy-wise, because my energy obviously ebbs and flows because of, I guess, the last 3 years and just the whole healing journey that I've been through. Got a bit of a suppressed immune system, so I get these kind of ebbs and flows in my energy. But, if I could recap the last sort of, I think 6 days ago or so was the last time I did an update. It's been a pretty hectic week. For two reasons. I was a little bit hungover. I never drink. Went out for a mate's birthday, but I absolutely loved it. And that's one of the things I was super grateful for over the last week. All I've been thinking about since like last weekend through this week is my relationships. The relationships I have around me, how important they are to your well-being. I mean, being lonely is a really, it's a key factor to like a lot of all-cause mortality. If you look into studies around loneliness, death by all different causes can be contributed to loneliness. So obviously not having that social connection around you, not having those people that you can rely on, laugh with, make you happy, joyful, support you, all that sort of thing. So as I've been saying, like each day I've been going on so much to do with this happy habits challenge or project I've been setting myself of just trying to be conscious in every single moment, is that I'm starting to realize, hey, happiness comes from gratefulness. Because it's just like, how can I be happy in this moment? Like, what do I have to be grateful for in this moment? And so much of that just comes from my daily gratitude of my family, my own health, because it could be worse, and what I have in my life, I've got everything I want. I've got clothes on my back. We've got a car to get around. We live in a house. We're moving into a new house. On my last video, I updated that. We were getting kicked out from my landlord because they were giving a house to their daughter. So we're moving into a new house in a few days. So we sorted that process out. That is usually a massively stressful process for me, and I absolutely hate moving house because I had to do it a lot as a kid, and it's one thing that it's like a trigger point for me that stresses me out. But Courtney, like going back into being grateful about relationships, is absolutely amazing in planning stuff like that, because she knows that it stresses me out. So she takes care of the whole lot. She just said, you know what, you just got to do a bit of the heavy lifting, do the yard work, don't stress out about anything. I'll organize everything else. I pack everything, I organize movers, cleaners, whatever needs to be done. She organizes the whole lot, which is absolutely great. So, think about that. Think about the relationships you have around you. That's something that's really just been contributing to my happiness, being grateful for that over the last week. Building the connection in good relationships, building new relationships, nurturing the good relationships you have. If you have a relationship around you that doesn't make you feel good, you got to distance yourself from that relationship, because you should only be surrounded in people that are lifting you up to a higher level, making you feel good about the position that you're in, and then making sure they're helping to push you in the direction that you want to go. And if you have people that are anchoring you and dragging you down, or never have anything positive to say when you're around them, they're the type of things or people you got to remove from your life. And I know it can be hard with family too. Family is one big thing, because and it's never an intentional thing. Like, family's family, and they're there to lean on each other through tough times, because nobody knows you better than your family. But sometimes you just got to remind yourself, or even remind them, say, hey, let's look at the positive part of this situation. Let's look at our health. Let's look how happy we are. Let's look what we all have. There's so many positive aspects to life, and it could be much worse, because people have it much worse. So 14 days in, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty happy. Not gonna lie, have been stressed, but nothing to the level that I used to get stressed out about, which I believe was what made me ill in the past. And that's because I use all of these things, all these coping mechanisms, making sure I'm ticking off all my boxes every day, making sure I'm sleeping properly, making sure I'm meditating, making sure I'm creating a plan and a schedule and a routine, staying fit, staying healthy, managing time with family, managing time with catching up with friends, like all these sort of things, making sure I'm on top of my finance and making sure I know what's coming in and out of my account. You know, that's a hard thing. We're still digging ourselves out of a big hole from like 3 years ago through all the stuff that we went through. But we know where we're going and we know where we're going to be, and that's a really important thing, because some people just don't. And you need to get stuff down on paper and know what's coming in, what's coming out, what you're planning for, what your goals are, what your purpose is, all that sort of stuff. So yes, I'm getting energy from my happiness. So the next thing for me, you know, I'm going to continue this every single day. So the next update I'll do when I feel is right. At the moment, it's me just focusing on relationships over the last week, being really grateful for that, and being grateful for the opportunity that, you know, we pretty much found the house we wanted as soon as we were moving out of this one, got accepted by the real estate immediately, and we have somewhere to go. Because I've heard stories of people just waiting for months to figure out where they're going to move and having to move in with family and not finding a place. And yes, we had to pay a substantial amount of more money every single week, but we've got a pretty good deal for what we're in, and we're quite happy with that, and we're going to be able to sustain that, which is really, really good. Thank you for watching. It's Friday where I am. If it's Friday where you are, happy Friday. Thank you for the people who always watch this. If you don't follow my channel, please follow, please subscribe, please drop a comment. I always like feedback from people to see whatever I put out, whether it helps people, whether it doesn't, what direction, what other things you'd like me to talk about. It's always, you know, always on the agenda. Peace.